All right, hey guys, what's going on? Welcome to the channel, and thanks to my new sub. So today we're gonna actually remove the seated Tremec shifter, and we're gonna put on the stock shifter on this Tremec 6-speed. Now it's a Tremec Magnum Extra Large, and what we're getting off this Tremec, very nice shifter, but for some reason I'm getting more and more NVH, which is noise vibration harness, vibrating quite a bit, and it's just driving me crazy. Seat is willing to replace it, which is great, kudos to them. But before we do that, I know it is a short throw, it is a nice shifter, I like the way it feels, how it goes into gear, but we're gonna lose 30%. But honestly, when I had this trans put in, I didn't know what the stock shifter felt like, and apparently they've done a lot of work on keeping the NVH down on the stock shifter. And if you've been following me and you know what I've had in the car before the Tremec, which is the Calmer Stage 3, that thing was all about vibrations, and anything vibrating now just drives me insane. I can't take it. So what we're going to do is we're going to take it out. Now, I did say in an earlier video that I didn't think we could because it's so close to the side. It looks like we can get to 3 bolts. They appear to be 1/2 inch. I think they are. We can get to 3 of them. The last one we're gonna have to get from the bottom side, but we're gonna try and pull this out and put the stock shifter in. We're gonna lay a bead of silicone on the top, which is recommended, and that's how it came off. And then we're gonna try it. Now in this video also, I'm gonna add my first drag equal. Not a bad one, in my opinion. A little bit of a late start. I didn't have my settings, but it is what it is. I got some data, and then I'll use it as my control. This is, again, in stock tires. We're just gonna see what the car lays down, and I don't know if I'll do the 60 to 130, but anyways, more to come on that. We'll get tearing into it, show you guys how to take this out, remove it, and then yeah, get the shifter changed, and let's see what kind of NVH we get, if any. I'm gonna expect 0 or too little, which is great, but I'm willing to go back to a stock shifter to eliminate any NVH. So we'll move on. So just to my new viewers, this is the car. It's a 12 Boss 302. It's a full bolt on right now. We're on E85. When I say full bolt on, it's pretty much everything except an aftermarket or a Ford Performance intake. It's all Boss, and this is an all Boss build. So this is the car. 18,000 miles on her. She runs very nicely. So we'll get to changing that shifter out. Now, just to add, what I really like about this shifter is how it clicks in the gear. And it's, like I said, it's very nice. It's a short throw. That's first, obviously. Second, you pull straight back. Third, you just bang it straight forward. Fourth is straight back. Fifth, again, over and up. And 6 is straight down. Now your reverse, there's a electric solenoid in these Tremecs that when you're driving, it's disabled, so you cannot get into reverse. Now you can override that if you have a failure, which I recently went through. You can push it over extremely hard to the right to get it into gear. I don't recommend doing that, but you can do it a few times according to modern driveline. It's not something you want to do all the time. Vibrating. So we'll get this out, and then first things first is just you get the ball off. It's pretty obvious how we do that. Your lock nut, and then your spacer. Quite simple. Now, in order to get this console off, we're going to show you how to do that. Now the console does take a little bit of maneuvering, and you got to just kind of work it. It's a little stiff in the beginning, and I can't tell you how many times I've had this off. There's been quite a few. So you just got to firmly pick it up. You hear it popping. And then you continue to gently lift up. Pull off your shifter boot, if you will. Now there's a connector on the bottom. So again, it's kind of awkward. You don't have a lot to work with. Micro patch. There we go. Just turn it a little bit sideways, and then as you can see, the plug, you just kind of push on the clip to get it out. Relatively simple. There's a little clip here. I don't know if you can see it on that angle, but clip is released. Now you're free to remove the console. If you're like me, I'm trying to be careful not to scratch anything because I hate any type of scratches on my interior. The rest you will remove. There is a clip that goes here. You just pull it straight up. Now you're just moving this insulation out of the way. That's what we're doing. This one's going to go back. You're going to lift this up and over. And this is your boot. This doesn't fit fully on the left side because it is so close. It looks like it's on, but it's not. It has a lip on it, if you will, that makes a seal. You'll see what I'm talking about. So this right here is where your metal goes in between, and that's just kind of like an insulator. Now this is the shifter. And we have 4 bolts to remove. Here, and we got one here. Now I believe this one here, I'm gonna have to get to the bottom side and probably the top one too. I won't be able to get to it. But as you can see, in this conversion, when this trans is installed, it favors the left side. It's tight, but there is clearance. So we're gonna remove this arm and get one gasket out, and then we'll go ahead and unbolt the top 2, like I said, with a 1/2 inch, and then we'll get the other 2 from the bottom. Now these bolts are threaded into this bracket here that's right on the shifter, so you just can't pull it out, so you have to unscrew them. All right, we got the right side off, no issue. Now we're going to move on to get these other 2 bolts off, and like I said, we're going to get it from the bottom side. Now again, I did a video earlier on Steeda jacking rails, and I mean to tell you, these things have paid for themselves. So I know where to slide this jack under, line it up with my splitter. I'm right on the pad. I always put a rag on my stuff so nothing gets scratched, but yeah, this is a lifesaver. You know, you just jack it up, and we'll put our jack stands under there, then we're good to go. So again, just to display how handy these jacking rails are, we got the car up nicely. It's supported. Yeah, if you're wondering why it's not teetering, it didn't teeter anyways. There's not enough weight in the bag, but we got a floor jack under the differential. But yeah, these suckers are handy. They are handy. We're gonna get under there and see what we can do. The wrench technique did not work, but we were able to get a universal on this thing and get it broken loose. So a big score there. So we were able to get this off. It was extremely difficult, I will have to say. Now we gotta pry this up because of the silicone. All right, we got it broke loose. We were able to just wedge a large chisel in here just to apply enough force to break it loose. So we're gonna pull this straight up. I'll make note of how this is coming out. So the short side is to the back of the shifter. Take a look at the stock one. The bead of silicone on, and then let it set for a little bit and we'll get this reattached. So if you look at the shifter, this is going to go on as so, but right in the center, it looks to be all insulating material. This is why this is also, yeah, you can see the gasket under there. So this is the work that Tremec did to quiet down their NVH. So this probably is going to work really nice for me. We're going to try and get it back on. On the upside, our bolts are already in. We won't struggle with that, and it's a smaller diameter, so maybe we can get to it as opposed to the square base on the Steeda. All right, we got just a film of Permatex gasket, make a seal, form a seal around the edges. You want to make sure it doesn't get inside, and then we add a little all-purpose grease where the ball socket goes. Now we're gonna go ahead and put the shifter in with the short side to the back. All right, we have the right two in relatively easy. There is a little bit more room. However, I still can't get my universal socket on there, so we'll get it from the bottom side. Okay, we got everything on, nice and tight, and it feels good. Shifter seems to work good. There's neutral, first, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth. It doesn't feel bad at all. We'll get it reassembled. So repeat the same steps as when we disassembled as we assemble. All right, we have it all back together, so we had to use a different spacer. Now this is actually from Tremec. The one I hit on there was a straight cylindrical spacer. It wasn't contoured. And that was actually from my MT82 shifter, but this is a little bit different look, but still looks good. I had to use this because the threaded area or the stud for the shifter was much longer than the one on the Steeda. Now we could probably trim this one down to use the old spacer, and actually it would make it a shorter throw, right, than where it's at today, just because you're shortening that overall length where that ball is. So, but it's not all bad, to be honest with you, where it's at. So if you heard something squeaking earlier, make a noise, this boot is pushing against this trim. You can see how far that is over there. It's not with it out, and this is what Modern Driveline had told me I needed to trim out. The Steeda shifter Tri-X was actually moved over a bit to where that wasn't an issue. So now we got to look at, I hate to trim on this, but this is all in the way here. So I'm going to take another look at it and figure out what we need to do. You can see how different this is. That's your first gear, second, and it's perfectly fine. I don't want to cut on my interior. This is the problem when you deviate from stock. However, we had to with this transmission. I'm going to put the boot back on and see what we need to do. So we just kind of pushed the boot down further over that shaft, and then we're going to try that. It seems to be okay now. We'll put the trim back on and see what that does. So yeah, this is still hitting. So all right, we just cut this section out here. So it's just a housing, if you will, of the shifter itself. Now let's see if that doesn't clear that for us. And this part right here also may be causing an issue, but I don't want to hack this all up until we just do little by little to get this figured out. So let's put it back on and see what it does. So now, as you can see, we just trimmed this whole section out on the side there, and then we'll see how that works. All right, guys, we're in day 2 of this shifter debacle now. To bring you up to date, if you're just tuning in, I know this is in the middle of the video, but we're going back to the stock Tremec shifter from the Triex Steeda. And the Steeda started making a lot of noise, a lot of rattling, just cruising down the road. I don't know what happened to the darn thing. But we do have another one coming. I'm not sure how the exchange is going to happen, but they are sending me a return, I believe, address. We'll get it shipped out. But in the meantime, I wanted to try this stock Tremec shifter. And if I like it, then I'll just ship the new Steeda back and say, keep it, return my money. But either way, you know, one of these are going to work. So I am struggling with this install for the Tremec shifter. So what's happened when you do that Tremec conversion on the Magnum XL, it shifts everything to the left on these S197s. Shifts it to the left, it gets everything closer to the left side. And our shifter housing, if you will, is hitting, and then we need to identify where it's hitting. It's hitting on the console, I should say, but what part of the shifter is hitting. We did some trimming on the boot, and I find out, you know, I can get that replaced if need be. But anyways, we'll let you take a look again. I needed to take a break overnight because it's just couldn't work on it any longer. I don't have any electricity out here, so I think you guys understand where I'm coming from. So let's relook at it and see what we can go. I did talk to Modern Driveline, and they really said there isn't any much more other than trimming the console. Possibly we could trim the shaft of the shifter. They believe it's robust enough to where it could, as long as you're not taking too much off. So we need to look at that. Let's see what we can do, if we can do something different. If you guys are in the same situation, hopefully this will guide you. If you're planning on converting to a Tremec, these are just one of the things you possibly get into. But again, we'll get back into it. I'll stop rambling, and let's get moving. When you go over to first gear, you can see how close you are. It's a first and second there. You're not hitting, but when the console's on, you are hitting. So we're going to remove this part of the console to see what it is and where it's hitting. And in order to do that, there's all these tabs. You pull them back. You'll hear it click. And you should be able to get it removed. Well, this clip did not cooperate at all, and because of the angle, I just couldn't get it off. So we removed the cup holder, the little Torx screw. There was 4 of them, and then you just got to work it out. Now we can get to this easily, get it level, and boom, it pops out. All right, now we're gonna put this in place and see where this thing is hitting. Now we got a pretty clear shot where neutral, this goes over. It's right on that little tab. Second. Okay, so this is the part that may need to be trimmed. However, we might be able to shave a little bit off the top of this. So that is 1, 2. All right, we're gonna assess this and then we'll see which way, best way to go on this. So with the Dremel tool, a cutting bit is ideal. I don't have one. I do. I just can't find my shit, to be honest. But anyways, we're just gonna shave this down, maybe 1/3 of the way, and see if that doesn't get us there. All right, we got it all snapped back on. This is a piece we shaved. Now we just shaved it a little bit more, but we're still sticking up. It is out of the way of the shifter, so we're good to go. Reassembled this. Now when working with the plastic, make sure you don't over tighten your torque screws. You got ears on it. This all is plastic, so you tighten it too much, you're gonna break it. So this is all in good shape. We're gonna get it reassembled. Now make sure your boot is on. It's all making a nice seal. We should be good to go. This is a dust protector, noise suppressor. And it probably helps with heat, but I'm not usually concerned about this hole here. I am not gonna put this over this shaft here because it's going to interfere. We're gonna leave it just like this and we'll get it tightened down with the stem, shaft, and ball. So once all the pieces are on, we're still hitting. So we didn't totally cure the problem. Again, we'll pull it back off and see where we're heading. So basically the difference is thickness of this little lip here on this cover is where it's hitting versus it being out. So there's not much there. I'm gonna see if we can grind on this piece to see if we can grind it down. Usually this material is hard and it's super hard to modify, but we'll try it. If not, you know, maybe I'm getting impatient. Maybe we'll shave on the inside of this because this piece is actually replaceable. I'm not gonna be too concerned about that. Either that or, no, we can't do that either. So we can try and adjust this, shave this down on this corner side and see what happens. All right, as you can see, this is where we just contoured. Gonna flatten that edge a little bit. We didn't do anything on the top side, just on the side. And hopefully it's just enough to clear it. We'll see what happens. If not, we'll take off a little more. No cigar in this one, guys. Sounds like it's worse. So back to the drawing board. All right, you can see how much we took off until we started to burn through. We rounded it as much as we could. Hopefully this does it. All right, we ended up shaving the top of the stud on the insulator there, part of the shifter and the side. And then we did quite a bit more shaving here on the console. I don't know why that picture is bad here. So we took quite a bit off here. Let's see, we burned through here, contoured that, just leveled that right off, rounded that right off. I think we're in, guys. First, second, third, fourth. Just a little rubbing. I'm not gonna worry about that too much. I think it'll be fine, but I think we got it. Okay, finally, a lot of little detailed work, shaving to get this to work again. As you can see, first, second, third. This stock shifter actually feels great. I don't see an issue with it at all. I like the look. A little bit longer piece, as I said earlier. So we'll get it cranked up and go for a cruise and check out our NVH if we have any. We shouldn't have any at all now, which is what I'm looking for. Like I said earlier, I didn't do it, but you can cut down or trim this shaft down on the shifter, one that bolts to the top, just to shorten that throw a little bit. But honestly, this doesn't feel bad at all. The same feel as a Triax, however, it feels normal at this point. I don't hear any vibrations. That's just what we're going after. We'll cruise it down the road. Super quiet, guys. Wow, this is even better than before. This is what I'm going after. These are all lessons learned. We'll do a little quick pull. We haven't came off on this thing hard yet. I don't have my draggy set up and it's really hot out, so we'll just do a quick rev. Okay, guys. video. Hope it was a lesson. Definitely was a learning for me. All kinds of learning things going on, and there's more, right? As my friend would say. Yeah, it never ends. But hopefully this will be good for now. If we do anything here, we may replace this boot later on. But I think we're good for now. We didn't cut into it, as you saw, badly or anything like that. But I like to have extra parts and sit on them just for future state. So, well, that's going to wrap this video up. So guys, if you like what you see, like and subscribe. Don't forget to give me the thumbs up. And thanks a lot, guys. Thanks for supporting the channel. And thanks for your patience with me. So have a great day and take care.